indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First Tuesday of the month, is it?
Yeah, it's a siren. Yeah.
NATO.
First item is just the village board minutes. Board to consider approving the minutes of the committee of the whole meeting held May 3rd, 2012, and the village board meeting of May 7th, 2012, and the 3 budget workshop meetings for fiscal year 2012-2013.
I have a question on, it's not a correction, except are we missing the last budget meeting, the one that we just opened the meeting, went into, and then went into executive session? Did we need a written meeting on that one? Because I remembered when I was reading this, it said something about we scheduled for another session, that
Right.
last session, but I don't see the minutes to that one.
No, you are correct, and I remember discussing that with our administrative assistant when we were putting the packets together.
Okay.
I would say at this point, you're right, they should be in the packet. If they're not, we will bring them to you at the next meeting for approval.
Okay, and then the other thing is, I didn't have a chance to review the tapes I got of the meetings, but I believe it's, I don't think we're showing, like on the Monday, April 9th, we show the clerk was there, but was she there on the 14th? Because it doesn't show the clerk was there, or on the 19th. I think those 2 minutes we need to review to see. I didn't remember her missing 2 budget meetings, and
she didn't.
Yeah, I didn't see her on the roll call.
On the 14th? And
Well, on the 14th, yes, I don't see her on there, and I believe the backside, April 19th.
Okay.
I don't see her on there, so we probably should check to see if she was
Yeah,
there.
we'll verify.
And again, then the minute that
She was there.
we're missing, the last meeting, budget meeting.
Right.
Okay, that's all I had on them, thank you.
If I find out that that is an error, we'll have those revisions for Monday.
Right, I wish I had time to go back and review the tapes that I took.
The missing meeting we'll have on the next agenda.
Okay, no problem. And we'll find out if she was at that one too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else? Next is open forum. I don't think we have a request for anybody for open forum, so not aware of anything. So we'll go right into reports. First, the only thing for the mayor is that Monday we will have the GFOA Distinguished Budget Award presentation. And then secondly, I would just like to remind all the residents and my colleagues that this Saturday is the 2nd annual DuPage River Sweep here in Westmont. They've been doing it for quite a while, but this is the 2nd year that Westmont's doing it. And we've had a lot of people that have volunteered, upwards over 50 people now, including the U.S. Coast Guard's coming, so that's kind of exciting. Anybody that can come, please meet us at 61st and Cumner. There's a retention pond right there on the south side of town, and we'd be happy to have an extra body if you got an hour or two free on this Saturday. So other than
It's from 9 to 9?
Yeah, 9 a.m. this Saturday, the 19th, till 12 o'clock.
And it's going to be warm out.
It's just
no
beautiful.
Sun, or no
and,
rain.
I think this is this the 11th year?
It's the 11th year they've been doing it
DuPage
for
County.
DuPage County, yeah, but the 2nd year for Westmont. And
good
it should be pretty impacting this year. I think that retention pond, as we all know, if you've driven by it, is in over need of some cleanup. So we'll see some interesting things once we pull all that stuff out of there. So I'm looking forward to it. Other than that, I have nothing else. Ron?
One item for the clerk. On Monday, we had scheduled the Public Information Committee meeting. As I said, the clerk is at a conference, so she will not be here. And I talked with the staff person assigned that works with that, Larry McIntyre, and they have communicated and agreed to postpone that meeting to May 31st. So there'll be an agenda coming out on that later for the Public Information Committee meeting. And that's all I have for the clerk.
All right, our village attorney.
One item on the agenda, number 2, is the second of 2 public hearings for electric aggregation. If all goes well with that, then we would like to add to the agenda for Monday approval of the plan of governance and operation. It's been previously distributed. We'll send it to you again so you have it again in front of your eyes. But from a timing perspective, and speaking with Mr. Belden, who's here tonight, and perhaps during the public hearing, he can fill in any details that I omit. But the plan is to issue the RFP to electric suppliers tomorrow afternoon, and with responses due by May 29th. At that point, then, there'll be a presentation to the board as to a preferred supplier and working on the power supply agreement in early June. So we need to get this moving and stay on the same timing with Downers Grove, who's our partner in this aggregation project.
If I remember right, though, and maybe Mr. Belden can help remind me, but the authority to make the award rests with myself and the village manager, and then we report it. We're obligated to report the selection of the low bidder to, that's how it's designed.
Correct.
And we want to do that in order to try to get the best possible price we can.
Right, because we're on a real limited time period from when the response to the RFP comes back. Those rates will only be good for a very limited time period.
And they fluctuate quickly. Okay.
That's all I have.
Okay, back to our village manager.
Just two other things. I wanted to ask for an executive session on personnel following the meeting, and wanted to ask if we could add to the agenda another item which was distributed. We got a request to close Cass Avenue for the annual Memorial Day Parade. That'll be on Monday, May 28th. There's nothing different than what we've done in the past, but we just received that request, and we'd like to add that to the agenda if we could.
Anything else?
No, there's nothing else.
Okay, next trustee items. Trustee Seneca.
Thank you. Had the great experience today of attending the Chamber of Commerce Scholarship Luncheon. And last week, I attended the Lions Scholarship Dinner. It's just amazing to me how many bright, wonderful kids we raise here in Westmont. These kids are doing everything from going into biology to medicine to architecture to hospital administration, just wonderful careers ahead of them all. And for our service organizations to do these scholarships, I think it really speaks well of Westmont, and I'm very proud of it. Rotary as well does several scholarships. So the kids here in Westmont have some great opportunities ahead for them. Also, Larry Forsberg asked me to remind everyone that on May 22nd, they will be having the Downtown Progressive Dinner, Dine Around the World in Westmont. It's kind of a Hold'em progressive dinner. Participating will be Cafe Calcadon. They'll be doing the appetizers. Uncle Bub's will be doing the entree. La La Lee will be doing the dessert. And Jay Fleming's will wrap it up with a glass of wine. After the dinner, there will be other businesses participating. A Novel Experience, Edward Jones Investments, Frame Makers, Karma, Uncle John's, and West Suburban Insurance. And as you visit those businesses, they will give you a playing card, and the idea is to get the best hand that you can. And then at the end of the night, there'll be prizes and raffles and things like that. The cost is $40 per person. It includes tax tip, soda, tea, dinner, everything. And it is still available. They have 3 seatings. They have seatings at 5 o'clock, 5:50, and 6:35. However, the 5:50 has already been sold out. So a lot of people have already signed up for this. I urge you, if you're interested, give the Chamber a call at 960-5553. And that's area code 630, of course. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Great, thanks. Trustee Scott.
Thank you. Tagging into Trustee Seneca about the school districts. Community School District 201 had their jazz concert last night at the high school.
Yeah.
They had the junior high jazz group there as well. It's the first time I've seen them. It's an outstanding group for a junior high. And so you can just see what it's going to be like at the high school when they get there. That program's going to be tremendous. But I want to commend everybody that was there last night and the musicians that were there. And they had a professional musician come in and play with them, a trombone player. What was his name? I'm trying to think of it. Huh?
I think his last name was DeVay.
Yeah. And he came in from New York for the day.
Just to play.
Just to play with the jazz group, and it was really something. So I want to congratulate them.
We have great kids.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that'll be it for me. Thank you.
Trustee Covenant.
Just a couple items here. On Thursday, May 31st, from 4 to 6:30 is the Westmont Blood Drive. Again, 4 to 6:30 on Thursday, May 31st. Heartland will have their mobile coach parked outside the fire station, Southside Headquarters Fire Station, and so please put that on. They are giving out, for all donors will receive a coupon for $11 off of it's an Oberweis gift card, so go and give your blood. Also, the following weekend, not this one, is the Red, White, and Barbecue, and with the St. Jude's Race to the Flag, that Sunday, May 27th, and with Memorial Day and the parade, and they also usually have a service, and I'm not positive, it's been a while since I've been there, I think it's 9 or 9:30 at Clarendon Hills, where where their memorial is for the soldiers and stuff. So if, I can't remember though if it starts at 9 or 9:30 at the cemetery. But then the people leave and then they come back to go on our parade, which kicks off at 10:30, so that'll be nice. So hopefully, again, Monday, it can be announced for our residents to remind them of Memorial Day and all the goodies we have. So, but that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Okay. Trustee Fleming?
I just have to echo what Trustee Scott said. The concert last night was phenomenal, and these kids from the junior high, this is really going to be interesting as they get into high school because they were really, really good. The other thing I would like to let the village know, as everyone knows, the Rotary has had an exchange student this year from Brazil. We have been contacted again, and we will have another exchange student coming in from Mexico. So I understand she'll be coming in about mid-August. And we've been asked to participate again, and my wife and I have said yes. And then she will be going to one, if not two more families after us. So just thought I'd let the village know that we're going to have another exchange student this year. And that's all I have.
All right, thanks. And our village clerk has one more thing to add.
Just one other thing I wanted to point out that we'll make note on the agenda. In addition to the budget award presentation, we also got notification today that we once again received our Certificate of Achievement in Excellence for our CAFR, which is the Comprehensive Annual Financial Report. So we'll have some comments about that on Monday as well. I just wanted to note that.
Okay. Next, I'd like to open up the public hearing.
Okay, this is the second of two required public hearings on our plan of governance and operation for the electric aggregation program. As we talked about at the last public hearing, this passed at the last election. It was a very small margin of passing. It was 50.44%, I believe. But we are required by law to hold these public hearings. We have had the plan of governance and operation available on our website for viewing, as well as here at the clerk's office. And at this point, we would just like to open it up for any public comments. I believe the Village of Downers Grove, who we partnered on, we just passed an intergovernmental agreement at the last meeting to partner with them on this program. I believe they had their public hearing earlier this week, their second one. So we're right on schedule to work with them to get ready to issue the RFP for the program.
All right. If anyone's here from the public? Yeah. Come on up to the podium, yeah.
Great, thank you. It's my first time addressing the village board. I'm kind of happy to be here. Thank you for all your leadership on this process. I think it's a great thing for the village. My name's Steve Leopoldo. I'm actually a candidate for DuPage Forest Preserve in District 3, but more importantly, I'm a resident of Westmont.
Hey, Steve, can you say your address as well, too, please?
Oh, sure. It's 5816 Buck Court in Westmont.
Okay. And your last name, could you spell it, please?
Sure. Leopoldo.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, it's a lot of vowels. Basically, I just came up here to speak about which energy source we're actually going to choose, assuming everything goes forward as it should. I know the village of, the village of Lombard, sorry. They recently, they passed this as well, and they decided to opt for 100% renewable energy. and they're getting it at a rate of 4.64 kilowatt hours, cents per kilowatt hour, and that's a great savings over ComEd's new rate of 8.5 cents per kilowatt hour. I know it's possible for us to get the absolute cheapest rate possible by not doing 100% renewable energy, but I think for the progressive village, we should really be thinking about air quality, especially for our young people, and looking for renewable energy that's not going to pollute and cause, asthma problems and things in the future. So I think while we have this opportunity, we should still look for a savings for our residents, a traumatic savings, or terrific savings rather, 45%. If we could mirror that, I think it would be excellent for us. So thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Anybody else? All right, I will close the public hearing and move on to new business. Number 3, McNaughton Development, Solly Subdivision License Agreement. Board to consider an ordinance approving a license agreement to permit the construction of a private storm sewer in the public utility and drainage easement.
How you doing? Paul McNaughton, McNaughton, McNaughton Development, 11 South 220 Jackson Street, Burr Ridge, 60527. Basically, we bought the new 4-lot subdivision on Hidden View Drive, and we're installing storm sewer in the rear yard, and we are tying into the village's existing storm sewer, and the connection point is located off-site in an easement that the village owns. So that's the purpose. The license agreement is a legal mechanism which allows us to get in there and do the work that we need to do. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have.
Staff?
This is just a general bookkeeping item, so we would recommend that this would be approved.
Mm-hmm. Great.
So this is just to tie the, as Mr. McNaughton said, this is just to tie the proposed storm sewer into the existing storm sewer system.
We've done similar agreements in the past like this.
Correct.
Kim, my only comment is, since this will be going through an easement on neighboring property, that we should give advance notice to the neighbor that there'll be crews out there working. And I don't know if they have any sheds or improvements within the eastman area that will cause a concern, or if
Yeah,
it's-
no, they don't have anything like that. Yes, we could tell them. We've already been talking to them about some other different situations, so yes, we can let them know.
Great.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, you just, are you Paul Jr.?
Yeah.
Okay. I worked for your uncle, Bill.
Oh, okay.
So, I was going to say, you're not Paul. I
No.
recognized your dad. Okay.
Yeah, you would hear his voice too.
Yeah. So, okay. I didn't know when I saw Paul, I didn't know which one was coming. So I was kind of like, when you walked up, I'm going, not the Paul I know.
Yeah.
So, very good. Okay, I'm glad. McNaughtons have always built fabulous homes.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, next, number 4, police pension appointment. Board to consider a motion to approve Thomas, I'm going to not pronounce this correctly, but Kennedy as a civilian representative to the Westmont Police Pension Board for a 2-year term.
Good evening. As you're aware, the Police Pension Board consists of 5 individuals. There are 2 that are elected at large from the current police officers, 1 that's elected from the retirees, and then 2 that are appointed by the mayor and the board. And this year, the term for Thomas Kennedy is currently up, and he has indicated he's willing to continue serving. He has about 25 years of experience in the financial investment field. His experience has been invaluable to the Police Pension Board as they've looked at the different nuanced investment decisions that they need to make. You know, he's been able to explain some of those decisions to the members that don't have the financial background, and he's been a great asset to the pension board. He's served for 3 consecutive terms and is willing to continue serving another one.
Great.
Any
Sounds good.
questions?
All right. Right on.
Thank you.
Thanks, Spencer. Number 5, consent agenda. Board to consider an ordinance creating a consent agenda section of the village board meeting agenda.
Going to ask if we could maybe postpone this because the person who requested it to be on the
Yeah, and Ginny really wanted to be a part of that,
Jenny, and I
too.
think Jenny also wanted to be here with us, too, so
Yeah, I think Ginny will have a lot of input.
I agree. Okay.
So,
postpone
Everybody
it.
okay with that?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Would you like that to remain on the agenda as a postponement Or would you just like it removed for now?
Just take it off.
I won't be at the next committee of the whole, so I don't know how far you want to push it off, but I'd like to have
Do
some
you
say on
want
it.
to, well, we could
So-
wait as long as the board wants.
But if you want to put it on, I can just speak on Monday, on the Monday. I'll be at the
You'll be here Monday.
voting. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be at the voting one.
No. All right, moving right along, number 6, furlough days ordinance. Board to consider an ordinance amending the municipal code to provide for a 39-hour work week in lieu of a 40-hour work week for fiscal year 2013, in order to assist in balancing the budget.
This is more or less a housekeeping item that we've done the last several years. As you know, we implemented furlough time to cut some personnel costs several years ago, and we need to do this each year to amend our personnel code to make sure the rules are in order.
Okay. Any comments? All right, next item, number 7, prevailing wage ordinance. Board to consider an ordinance to ascertain the prevailing wages as defined in said act.
Once again, this is an annual reoccurrence, something that we're required to do. What we typically do is we use the DuPage County prevailing wage schedule that is published by the state. The one you find in your packet is for May of 2012. We're required to pass this ordinance each year, then we have to file a copy of this with the state and State Department of Labor and the Secretary of State, those two organizations.
All right, moving right on. Number 8, surplus equipment. Board to consider an ordinance to declare the following village property as surplus. Number 1, 2,600 feet of large diameter supply hose, and number 2, SCBA air compressor.
Good evening.
Chief, hello.
We're fortunate to have North and South Fire District to be able to help us offset some costs that we, large dollar costs. A year ago, both district shared in splitting the cost of replacing 2,600 other feet of large diameter hose. They did the same thing again this year. This covers all 4 of our fire engine supply hose. The hose that we're replacing is anywhere between 23 and 25 years old.
Wow.
And the cost to replace the total 5,200 feet of large diameter hose is about $33,000. So North and South Fire District split that. The SCBA air compressor is our large air compressor at headquarters station. As you know, I've been trying to get grant money for the last 2 years through the Fire Act grants and been unsuccessful. South Fire District has decided to give us the $50,000 to replace that compressor and to upgrade the compressor at our fire station 2. This compressor is the original compressor when the station was built, so it's about 21 years old. Weren't able to get parts for it anymore. They're fabricating parts to keep it going. So that's why we want to replace that. It's a very important piece of equipment.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving right along, number 9, engineering services agreement with Baxter and Woodman. Board to consider an ordinance authorizing an agreement for design engineering services regarding the North Grant Street and North Adams Street water main replacement project.
The project itself sounds like it's described. It is the water main replacement on North Grant and North Adams between Burlington and Naperville Road, Chicago Avenue. Well, Naperville Road, sorry. Combine the two projects, there's about 4,000 feet of water main that would be replaced. It'll be very similar to the construction that you recently saw on North Lincoln. The engineering phase 2 is actually the design engineering. This is where they'll put together the construction plans, the estimate of cost, and go right up to the bidding process. The design also, part of the design process is getting the EPA permits too, which will be the most time-consuming portion of the project. So we hope to get the engineering design going right away, and all things going smoothly, we'll be able to construct this fall.
Any comments? All right, moving on. Number 10, proclamation of National Public Works Week. And board will to consider a motion approving a proclamation honoring Westmont Public Works and proclaiming the week of May 14, 2012 as National Public Works Week in Westmont. We'll read that on Monday. And number 11, which is the River Sweep Proclamation 2012, is just a board to consider a motion approving a proclamation supporting the DuPage County River Sweeps program.
Do you want me to read it since it's actually Saturday?
Yeah, we could read it if it's Saturday. That's great.
Okay. It says, whereas the Village of Westmont recognizes that ongoing stream cleaning is essential to preserve the waterways of DuPage County in northeastern Illinois, and whereas the DuPage County River Sweep is a countywide stream cleanup held just prior to American Rivers Month in June, and whereas the purpose of the river sweep is to encourage citizens and volunteers to sweep our rivers clean by picking up debris in and along our waterways, and whereas stream cleaning efforts have been highly successful with more than 8,180 volunteers removing more than 200 tons of solid waste from DuPage County streams since 1991, and whereas the Village of Westmont supports and encourages partnerships with the DuPage River Coalition and the Conservation Foundation, therefore, I, William H. Ron, Mayor of the Village of Westmont, do hereby proclaim Saturday, May 19th as DuPage County River Sweep Day, and encourage all residents of the Village of Westmont to learn about the environmental importance of clean waterways, and are further urged to participate in the DuPage County River Sweep on Saturday, May 19th by calling the Conservation Foundation at 630-428-4500 or Trustee Nero's personal cell phone number, which is
630. If anybody can contact me via email or my cell phone, that's fine. I know everybody has been, so that's fine. Next, moving on, miscellaneous. Number 12, finance ordinance number 2.
Waive the reading.
Any comments? And number 13, purchase orders. Questions? All right.
Before we go on to executive session, I just had a question back on number 6, the furlough days. Ron, did that correction get done?
Yes.
Okay.
I assume that that's in the passed out ordinances.
It is a corrected ordinance that I passed out tonight. I'm not sure what correction you're speaking of.
We had the wrong date. It said from May 1st, 2013 to April 30th, 2013. Should have been
12 to
12.
13.
I don't know if I caught that one. Thank you, Pat. I'll
We did
double check.
try to communicate that this afternoon, but we'll make sure that's in the approved version for Monday.
No, he caught it.
Okay.
Okay, no, it says 2012. I'm looking at the right one to 2013. So.
Before you send it to me, because I didn't see that when I reviewed it. Okay.
Okay, thank you. That's all I had. Thank you.
All right. Well, if there's something else to come before the board, I'll entertain a motion to enter executive session for personnel.
So move, Seneca.
Second, Scott.
Roll call.
Trustee Fleming?
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Scott?
Yes.
Trustee Seneca?
Yes.
All right. This meeting is now adjourned to executive session. Thanks.